Hello and welcome. You are watching the Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball on ESPN+. Coming to you from the Houck Fieldhouse in Cape Girardeau. My name is Kyler Messenger, and I will be with you all night. Today's matchup is between the Southern Indiana Screaming Eagles and your home Southeast Missouri State Red Hawks. Before this game starts, we're going to go ahead and take a quick look at our players to watch for this match, which is presented by Jostens, the official recognition of the OVC. For your home team Red Hawks, we got none other than Maren Johnson. Maren Johnson, who, if you didn't know, she's got strep right now. She's playing her Michael Jordan flu game impersonation last night. Hits .529 with 19 kills yesterday. Great game for Johnson. She is our player to watch for SEMO. And on the University of Southern Indiana side, we got Ashby Willis, the team leader in kills. Had a double-double yesterday, nearly a 20-20 game, 21 kills and 16 digs in last night's win versus SEMO. Wow, do we have a matchup tonight. A game yesterday that went to a 5-set conclusion. Now we got the beginning of another match tonight. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineups. For SEMO, your setter, Megan Holder, and your libero, Nina Schubert. Your outside hitters, Lucy Arndt, Katie St. John, and then in the middle you got Elena Lester and Ramiri Gardner, and once again your player to watch, Maren Johnson, also on the outside. Over on the Southern Indiana side, they're going to have their libero, Kerrigan Fair, starting, as well as starting libero, who you'll see with the different colored jersey, Audrey Small, also setting OVC Freshman of the Week and Setter of the Week, Asa Thomas, and in the middle, Bianca Anderson with Mackenzie Murphy, Carly Wright, the lefty, Wright also on the right side tonight. Wow, a matchup that I am excited for in this game. Just before we start, let's take a look at our keys to the match, which are presented by German American Bank. Technology backed by people at German American Bank. For SEMO, they have got to finish. You see the stat. If you weren't here with us yesterday, this team was up 2-0 after the first 2 sets. It really just shows that the game is never over till the clock hits 0, till that final whistle blows. SEMO has just got to finish. They got to keep that momentum going. And for the Southern Indiana Screaming Eagles, they got to be ready to fight. They were fighting yesterday. They were down 0-2 and ended up having a comeback win in 3 sets. Today, you know that SEMO's coming playing mad. They are at they're at their home stadium, the Houck Fieldhouse. They don't want to lose here. They're going to come in playing aggressive. We take a quick look at our coaches for today's matchup. Over on the Southern Indiana side, you're looking at Jeffrey O'Coin. O'Coin usually has his wife by his side, Sarah O'Coin, assistant coach. She is not here tonight. It will just be O'Coin, Jeffrey, starting the game. Take a quick look at our series history after we talk about head coach of the Red Hawks, Julie Yankis, in her 15th season, still at the helm of the Red Hawks lineup. These two teams have met for the 12th time entering today's matchup. They played last night. If you were here with us, you know that Southern Indiana took the win 3-2. SEMO leads the series 8-3, and Southern Indiana has won the most recent matchup. And ladies and gentlemen, we are about to get going here in the Houck Fieldhouse. Megan Holder starts the game off with a serve. And Nina Schubert gets off on the board with her first dig. Maren Johnson, our player to watch, watches that one go out of bounds, and Southern Indiana is on the board first. Audrey Small back to serve for the Screaming Eagles. Arndt with the first touch. Schubert passes to Johnson, and Johnson gets that one down. Our player to watch, Maren Johnson, gets the first 2 attacks of the game for SEMO, and she makes that one count. Johnson's going to go back there to serve, and here we go, tie ball game. Johnson serves. Set by Thomas on the outside to Willis. Sets it to the SEMO side. That one is going to be a double touch by Asa Thomas. SEMO gets on the board yet again. Here comes Maren Johnson with another serve. First touch by Kerrigan Fair, who gets it to the middle. Thomas sets to Anderson, and Anderson capitalizes. We are all tied up yet again at 2. Yesterday, SEMO took the first set, and they also took the second set. Then Southern Indiana popped off and took 3 straight sets to win this game. Both of these teams, fantastic volleyball clubs, 4th and 5th in the OVC so far in this season. And Katie St. John almost gets on the board, but it's going to be Southern Indiana's point. Take a look at your lineup for Southern Indiana. It says Moore back to serve. SEMO gets on the board. Lucy Arndt, Ramiri Gardner up there in the middle for SEMO. Nina Schuberth back to serve for the Redhawks. Team leader in aces. Knocked in a couple yesterday. Comes Willis, finds Johnson, and Johnson gets on the floor to make that save. Arndt gets that ball down, and we are still playing. Thomas with the tip. Schuberth finds it. Holder to Arndt. And Arndt lasers that one into the chest of Kerrigan Fair. Nina Schuberth showing why she is the reigning OVC Defensive Player of the Year. Take a look at Tara Beal-Smith talking to Lucy Arndt on that one, talking strategy as Schuberth lines up for another serve. Small gets first touch, passes it to Thomas. Thomas finds Willis. That one is tipped by SEMO. Southern Indiana's point. A back and forth matchup so far in this game. SEMO's got 6 attacks. Southern Indiana's got 5. A real close matchup. Southern Indiana sends back. Looks like that's Willis back there to serve. Schuberth misfire. And Willis is going to get her first ace of the game. See that bench mob over there of Southern Indiana. Honestly was the story to tell from yesterday's matchup. This Southern Indiana team, as Willis barely sneaks that one over, was down 0-2. Like we said, we literally were down 2-0. The worst position to be in volleyball. And that bench mafia, along with the players, of course, but the bench keeps them in that game the entire game. As Southern Indiana gets another point on that one. We talked to Coach O'Coin before the game today, and something that he stresses as a coach is that this is a team game. And when you're talking about a team game, we're not just talking about the 6 players on the court. We're not just talking about the couple subs that get in. We're talking about all 16 players on the roster. This Southern Indiana team does a great job of keeping the whole team engaged and keeping the whole team into every single play. Something to watch here for this game, as we got a nice rally going on. Still going. Thomas finds Johnson in the back row, but it looks like Southern Indiana touched that one 4 times. Referees figuring out what's going on this one, and we will sit with you as we look into this huddle. So referees go to the instant replay board to see if that ball, see what the call is. We will wait for the referee's call. Not exactly sure what they are debating right now. You see our instant replay coordinator, Lamar Gayfield, giving the referee the replay. He's going to make his call, let the officials know, and then we are going to figure out Coach Julie Yankus, Coach Tara Beal-Smith, Coach Maureen Johnson, and Coach Mark Moore in the huddle for SEMO, talking to their team as they get that point. Over on the Southern Indiana side, it's head coach Jeffrey O'Coin, and his assistant Mandy Lee in her first year is back there right behind Coach O'Coin. Substitutions being made on the court. And it looks like Holland Gilliam is back to serve. Did not see any lineup time yesterday in SEMO's loss. She gets her first touch of the weekend, and SEMO's going to get a block on that one. Ramiri Gardner with the block. Looked like Ellie Burns, the setter, might have been up there with her as well, but that was all Gardner stuffing that one at the net. Gardner coming off of one of her best games of the season. I wouldn't say best, a fantastic player, has good games all the time. As Coleman gets a hold of that one, a back set to Marin Johnson, and we are still playing. Small to Coleman. Coleman gets blocked again by Ramiri Gardner, but Bianca Anderson is going to finish that play as Southern Indiana gets on the board. Just wanted to highlight a little bit of the stats from yesterday's game. Ramiri Gardner, as we were talking about her, had 8 kills yesterday. She also had 5 aces. An all-around game from Gardner yesterday as Burns gets the set for Lucy Arndt. Thomas on the Southern Indiana side with the set. Gilliam's first touch finds Ellie Burns, who finds Ramiri Gardner. Holland Gilliams, Ellie Burns, and Ramiri Gardner getting that one done. We've seen the rise of Ellie Burns in this SEMO lineup. We talk about this SEMO team. I mean, they are versatile and they are deep. You see Gilliams in the back row with Schubert. They're trying to show some of that defensive prowess that they have. Coach Yankus taking a page out of the book of the Southern Indiana side. They have 4 players yesterday who had double-digit digs. SEMO trying to make some of that happen, getting Gilliams in there to play more defense. But more about this SEMO team's depth. I mean, the outside hitting, your setters, your liberos, they got depth everywhere. We mentioned the setters. Ellie Burns, the freshman, has been getting tons of playing time in the recent weeks. This is a SEMO team that sort of runs a 5-2 offense. They don't really keep one setter. They always are passing the ball, and it's been Megan Holder as the main and Alandry Blue as the second main so far in the season. But in the last couple of weeks, Ellie Burns has taken over that role. In yesterday's game, Burns had 18 assists, second on the team. Burns has been setting the ball well, and Leah Coleman gets blocked by Burns on that one, but Leah Coleman's going to be rewarded with the kill. Leah Coleman did not start today's game, but she's already leading the team in attempts. This is a player, Leah Coleman, that's number 22, who's not on the court right now. You see her on the end of that Southern Indiana bench. Coleman had 6 of the 15th fifth set points for this Southern Indiana team. I mean, a team that came out losing the game, needed somebody to get that energy going throughout the entire game, and Coleman kept it up with her celebrations and with her kills. Coleman going to be somebody that Southern Indiana is looking to feed today. They're up 2 so far in the first set. Kerrigan Fair with the serve. Burns to the back row for Lucy Arndt. And Arndt hits that one a little bit outside, looking to place it where the defense wasn't. Just misses her mark by a little bit. Look at freshman Asa Thomas there. Arndt was really hitting those back row sets yesterday. You call him a 10. Setter sets it up to that back row. Arndt was killing it yesterday from that back row spot. So something to watch today, as we've already seen them try and go there. Elena Lester tries to find the outside and can't do it. So far this SEMO team, you can tell that these hitters are aiming their hits. You can tell that they are trying to find the holes in the defense. This Southern Indiana team leads the OVC in blocks. Of course you're going to try and avoid the defense. Well, 12 Southern Indiana, 8 SEMO. And we're going to talk more when we get right back from this break. Don't forget, you're watching Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball here on ESPN+.
Are you ready to take your money to new heights? Get a flexible high-yield checking account that lets you customize your interest rate so you can keep your finances headed in the right direction. With Elevate Checking from United Fidelity Bank, you're in control of how much you earn. You can raise your rate with a few easy steps. Get more ways to earn more with Elevate Checking and start earning 4.00% APY. Learn more at unitedfidelity.com/elevate or visit your local banking center.
In Kentucky, we're moving forward together. Our businesses are winning, and our families are thriving. Because Kentucky is a place where business is fast, but the pace of life is just right. Now, we're looking at a new Kentucky, one where good jobs and a good life are possible for everyone. Y'all interested? We don't blame you. So come explore your new Kentucky home.
Welcome back into how we quickly take a look into the first set. Fair with the serve, bringing it back. Marin Johnson with the hit. Small getting it up for Willis. Schubert, beautiful dig, perfectly for her setter, and Burns just misplaces that back row set. Here comes Wright from the right side, and she gets that point down. Southern Indiana, after the timeout, is the first team to strike. We mentioned that bench mob. This team runs around like helicopters. They just hold their arms out and they run around. This team is always showing energy, and it's definitely going to be something to watch today. Coming into the Houck Stadium, which is very home-friendly. This is a stadium that is most definitely home-friendly, not a large stadium, so mostly you only have time for your home team crowd to be cheering. And this Southern Indiana bench looking to make sure that they're the loudest in the building. SEMO down 4 in the first set so far. Not something you see every game this season. SEMO is outscoring. Now, this is before yesterday's game. They outscored USI by 6 points yesterday. The first set ended 25-19. On the season, SEMO is outscoring opponents 371 to 349 in the first set. A set that they are usually coming out to take. As that one drops, SEMO is going to get back on the board, and they strike double digits. Take a look at that SEMO bench as Megan Holder is back to serve for the Redhawks. A deep serve from Holder finds Ashby Willis, who had 16 digs yesterday. Willis, the leader in kills, also second on the team in digs yesterday. Blocked by Lester. Still playing. Wright finds it. Katie St. John with the first touch. Megan Holder gives it to Marin Johnson. Lester was ready for that one. Thomas out to Willis. Willis with the strike, but Lucy Arndt finds it. Marin Johnson blocked at the net. Here comes Wright, and Wright finds the right spot, finds the perfect cushion in that SEMO defense. And Southern Indiana strikes again. It's Carly Wright with the point on that one. Wright, a freshman, had a fantastic showing yesterday. Also one of her better games on the season. Third on the team with 11 kills as SEMO brings it right back to their side. Marin Johnson with the serve. And what a stop there from Fair. And SEMO's going to get the point on that one. Even though Southern Indiana had a good dig on that one, SEMO gets the final set. Marin Johnson back to serve. Finds Fair again. They're looking for Carly Wright, and she's going to get that one right in front of Schubert. Schubert can't do anything about it. Carly Wright with another kill. Wright has already got 3 on the day. Had 11 yesterday. And she's coming out swinging today so far. Kira Moore back to serve for the Eagles, the Screaming Eagles. Had 4 aces yesterday. No serving errors as Lucy Arndt finds the back row. There she is. We were waiting for a piercing Lucy Arndt kill. And that is going to be the first one. Not the first one for her of the day, but the first real electric one Lucy Arndt has came to play. She is now leading SEMO with 3 kills on the set. Nina Schubert, an ace. Untouched ace for Schubert. The opponent didn't even get a fingertip on it. That is impressive. And another one. 2 in a row for Schubert. Double the ace chance from that Redhawks bench. And Schubert knocks in the second straight serving ace. SEMO's now only down 1. Looks for the third one, but that one's going to be an error. Schubert just pushes that one past the back line. Not the move that Schubert wanted to hit, but she got 2 aces right before that. Why not try for a third one? Willis back to serve. First touch by Reagan Nelson. Lucy Arndt is coming in, swinging, and she's going to grab that point. Going to bring Holland Gilliams back to serve for the Red Hawks. Serve from Gilliams lands. Thomas finds Coleman, who gets blocked. Now they're looking for Anderson with the slide, who also gets blocked. Coleman again, who also gets blocked. 3 straight hands on the ball at the net for SEMO, but Southern Indiana's not going away on this one. Coleman too far, but it was tipped. It went too far only because of the likes of the SEMO defense. Leah Coleman knocks in her second kill of the day. Bianca Anderson back to serve. Reagan Nelson with a nice first touch. Burns was looking for the dump, just couldn't get it, but SEMO is still going to get the point after a tipping struggle for the Screaming Eagles. We got a close first set here at the 17th point, only a 1-point deficit for SEMO. Lucy Arndt back to serve for the Red Hawks. Set by Thomas. Arndt gets a hand on it first. What a dive there from Lucy Arndt. And Southern Indiana finds Bianca Anderson on the slide, but Ellie Burns keeps it alive. Now they're looking for Willis, who's going to have to give SEMO a free ball. First touch by Gardner. They fake it to her, and Marin Johnson gets on the board. You see the hype from the SEMO bench. You see the hype from Holland Gilliams on the court. What a rally there, and what a point for the Red Hawks. Arndt with the serve. Thomas tries to slip it over the SEMO defense, but Schubert was there. Set up play for Southern Indiana, and Leah Coleman gets it done. Thomas with the serve. Set by Burns. Gardner stuffed at the line by Leah Coleman, and her aggressiveness is back. You know she's feeling herself with that. We talked to Coach O'Coin, and he said that in these last 2 weeks, this has just been a different Leah Coleman than we've seen the rest of the season. She's really been turning up in this portion of the season, and yesterday we saw that. She had 6 kills in the 5th as Marin Johnson finds the back line. Right on cues, we're talking about the great players from yesterday's game. Marin Johnson, stellar performance in yesterday's game. We talked about it earlier. I will mention it again. She hit 529 yesterday. That means that 52%, almost 53, essentially 53% of the time that she hit the ball, she was getting a kill. Gilliams dives. Wow. How did Holland Gilliams get to that ball? Southern Indiana on the board, though. Coleman comes out, who had a stellar game for this team yesterday, second on the team in kills. And probably this team's top hype woman, if you ask me. Yesterday was celebrating all day. Definitely a huge factor for this team. Burns goes for another dump, and it is getting sought out by Southern Indiana as SEMO ties it up again. It's a SEMO team that, honestly, before yesterday's game, you wouldn't see a dump in the first set. You really wouldn't see a dump in the entire game, something that Coach Yankus has been working on with this squad. Well, yesterday, Ellie Burns had 2 perfect dumps, 2 of them landing, and the Southern Indiana team just was not ready for him. This defense always ready. Leads the OVC in digs, 3rd in the entire Division I nation in digs. This is a team that can dig the ball, but SEMO finding the holes in those defense as they go up 1. Here comes Holder. Willis has to set that one. Almost an ace for Megan Holder as some miscommunication on the Screaming Eagles side. But Elena Lester comes back with that kill. First kill of the game for Lester, and she makes that one matter. I think that was the second kill. Excuse me, that was the second kill for Elena Lester. And wow, every time she hits that ball, I swear she is 60 inches in the air. Take a look at this Southern Indiana squad. You see them being hype. We mentioned it before. This team makes sure that they do a good job of getting everybody involved. Even if you're not on the court, you are still part of this team. And they celebrate. I mean, they celebrate all day. Leah Coleman eating the banana on the sidelines. Maybe she's cramping. No speculation to be had. We are just going to observe. And Southern Indiana is down in the first set, but they don't care. The vibes cannot be killed. I mean, this is a team that was down 0-2 yesterday. They were down 2-0, and this type of energy could be seen throughout the entire match. One of the main reasons why they won, in my opinion. Just a nice team chemistry between these girls. A real good team that the Screaming Eagles have so far this year. But on the SEMO side, a real good team that they got as well, hoping to finish this first set ahead like they are right now. It's going to be Megan Holder back to serve. Asa Thomas with the set, finds Carly Wright. Katie St. John touches it. Set to Johnson. Attack from Willis. And SEMO's going to bring this one back. Katie St. John blocked, but Schubert gets that one up. Lester with the tip. Here comes Wright. Touched at the line. SEMO with a block. Katie St. John blocks Ashby Willis. Megan Holder with the set. Back line set for Lucy Arndt, and Audrey Small stops that one. Here's Ashby Willis. What a rally we have going on. Marin Johnson winds back for that one, and we are still playing. Here comes Willis. We're still going. Lucy Arndt, what a stop. Marin Johnson. Kerrigan Fair with the stop. Thomas to Willis, and we are still going. Holder finds Johnson. Almost finds a spot in the defense, but Asa Thomas with the save. Megan Holder with the dump. And the Screaming Eagles saw that one coming. Carly Wright finally gets the point. Both of those teams wanted that play to end. What a back and forth we saw between the Screaming Eagles and the Red Hawks on that point. Wow. Audrey Small with the serve. Schubert watches that one, and it just drops at the last second. Look, I was with Schubert. I thought that one was going to drop. It looked like that one was going way far, but at the last second, Smalls just dropped that ball in. It's going to cause SEMO to take a timeout as they were just up 2, and now it is a tie ball game. Take a quick look at just some of these stats so far in the first half. These teams are tied at 45 attacks each. A completely even attacking match so far. SEMO's got 2 more digs than Southern Indiana has at 23-21. You look at the hitting percentages, both at 133. These teams are tied, and their hitting percentages are the exact same right now. Both of these teams having 2 aces. I mean, you see the score. Obviously, it's an even matchup so far, but Carly Wright on the Southern Indiana side has got 4 kills. Leah Coleman has 4 kills. Those 2 players, 22 and 7 for Screaming Eagles, have been showing out. Coleman looks to be cramping, though, or going on with some sort of, we'll say, injury designation on the sideline. She will be back, no doubt, probably just after she finishes her lunch. Over on the SEMO side, Marin Johnson has got 6 kills, leading the team, and Lucy Arndt has 4. Timeout has concluded. Tie ball game, 22-22. And here's Audrey Small. Holder finds Johnson. Holder to St. John, but that one's going to get blocked. Like that was Carly Wright and Bianca Anderson in the middle on that one. Bianca Anderson, one of the Southern Indiana players who leads the league, the OVC, in blocks per set. Lester blocked by Anderson as we're talking about her blocking ability. Small gets the first touch, finds Carly Wright, who gets blocked by St. John and Elena Lester. Lucy Arndt in the back row. They're going to go right back to her. Has to do a little bit of a stutter step. USI is going to get a good attack here from Willis, and that one is going to land. Southern Indiana is up 2, and it is a match point here in the first set. Small floats that one, and an ace to end the first set. That is a way to go out. Southern Indiana has beaten SEMO in 4 straight sets. SEMO's going to have to come back in this second set with some aggression. They're now playing down. Southern Indiana 1, SEMO 0. My name is Kyler Messenger, and we will be right back here. Don't forget, you're watching Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball on ESPN+. And we are back in to the Hauk Fieldhouse. My name is Kyler Messenger. We'll be with you all afternoon and night. And hello and welcome. Lots of ands there. I apologize. We are welcoming you back into a game where SEMO is down 1-0. Southern Indiana won the first set 25-22. And we're going to take a look at a couple of those replays from this first set. SEMO actually out-dueling Southern Indiana on the kills on the stats sheet. They got 14 compared to Southern Indiana's 12, but Southern Indiana is striking at a better rate. They have a 146 hitting percentage compared to SEMO's, which is just at 100. For SEMO, they're going to have to get Katie St. John in this game. St. John has not recorded a kill in this game so far. She's got 5 attempts, but she has not been killing the ball at the usual strike that she does through the first set. Yesterday she had 10 kills and 4 blocks. We will see how the rest of this game goes for St. John. Southern Indiana looking to build off of this momentum. This is a team that was down 0-2 against SEMO yesterday, and now they're up 1-0. SEMO, who had to get a comeback made against them yesterday, hoping to now be the ones who are the ones coming back. We welcome you back into Hauk Fieldhouse, as we are about to undertake the second set. It is currently OVC Mental Health Awareness Week, if you weren't aware. So if you're listening to this, you matter, and I love you. We are back into the second set. First point as a rally, and it's going to be Southern Indiana's favor. They start off this second set the same way they started off the first one, 1-0. Kerrigan Fair to start off this serving, or keep it going, I should say. Thomas with the dive stops Lucy Arndt's kill. And Southern Indiana is going to go up 2-0 here in the second set, starting this match exactly how they want to. Kerrigan Fair back to serve. The returning libero was here last year at Southern Indiana. Returns for her sophomore season. Carly Wright, but Megan Holder gets a set on that one. To Arndt on the outside, but Asa Thomas makes a dig. Megan Holder with the set. Finds Arndt, who's looking for the back row, but just looks a little bit too far. Coach O'Coin happy about that one, as Southern Indiana has started the second set on a 3-0 run. Schubert to Arndt, who maybe got it down. Asa Thomas went for a pancake on that one. Looks like she was close, but didn't get that palm under the ball. SEMO gets on the board for the first time of the set. Here comes Lucy Arndt with the first serve for SEMO. Small with the first touch. Thomas has to set it backside to the lefty. And Wright's going to get that point for Southern Indiana. Arndt with the first touch. Holder sets it to St. John, and St. John is back. Here she is, Katie St. John, with her first kill of the game so far. Jackson High School graduate, St. John is. Came into this season and won OVC Freshman of the Week in the very first week. Absolutely making the start of her SEMO career meaningful, as Wright goes too far on that one. SEMO is 1 point down. Here comes Schubert with the serve. Set up by Asa Thomas. Ashby Willis is blocked. It's Katie St. John and Ramiri Gardner with the block. Ramiri Gardner already has 2 blocks on the day. And that's going to be an ace. Ashby Willis makes a rare defensive mistake and rewards Nina Schubert with an ace. Schubert's now got 3 on the day. We saw earlier she had one of those, she had 2 back-to-back aces that were untouched by the defense. Now adding the 3rd one of the match. Arndt gets her hands on that one, but nobody is there for SEMO to continue the play. Southern Indiana brings it back to a tie. Here is Kira Moore with the serve. Set by Holder. Johnson with the strike. Thomas dumps, but Schubert was there for it. It was a double touch, actually. It looks like Asa Thomas on that one had her hands maybe not as level as she thought they were. It's nice to make those mistakes as a freshman, so once she keeps growing up in this league, she's going to be a pro. Already having 3 OVC Setter of the Weeks under her belt. Now an OVC Freshman of the Week under her belt. Thomas has been making plays all season for the Southern Indiana team. I mean, we've seen the digs that she's even made today. Messes up that set, but that is a mistake that they can come back from. A nice one for SEMO, though, as they continue to try and grow this league. Asa Thomas, 3 Setter of the Weeks already, 1 Freshman of the Week. I know I just said it, but it's remarkable. I mean, a freshman leading your offense as a setter, also leading your defense. She doesn't just pass the ball. She digs it, too. A great all-around player, Asa Thomas is. Oh, in case I didn't mention it, she's also 10th in the OVC in blocks per set. Didn't record one yesterday, but still 10th in the OVC in blocks per set as a setter and as a freshman. Impressive work out of Thomas so far in this season. Thomas to the back row for Willis, and they connect on that one. Score was 6-7. Now it's 7-7. Tie ball game. Ashby Willis with the serve. Marin Johnson with the strike. Felt the vibrations through the TV on that one. That was a good kill there by Marin Johnson. Finds the scoreboard again. First time in the second set for her. She's now got 7 kills. Great dig there by Marin Johnson to save her serving record. She's still going. It was a great dig from Marin Johnson on that last play to continue this serving streak that she's about to have. Johnson yesterday, not only 19 kills, not only hitting 52.9%, but she had 5 digs and a block. She played real well yesterday. Once again, a reminder that this week is OVC Mental Health Awareness Week. Also here in Cape Girardeau, we are at Alumni Night. It's Alumni Weekend, and tonight is the specific Alumni Night. We want to take a second to just give a little shout out to a couple SEMO alumni who are on the court right now. Jenny Shuk, the student assistant, and assistant coach Tara Bealsmith for SEMO. You've seen her talking to the squad right there in the patterned pants. That's Tara Bealsmith, the former SEMO libero. In case you didn't know the name Tara Bealsmith, you probably should. Bealsmith is #1 all-time in the OVC in digs. And excuse me, Tara, but Lucy Arndt just knocked the wind out of that ball. Wow, what a hit there from Lucy Arndt. Real quick, some more about Tara Bealsmith. 3,035 digs all-time for SEMO. I mean, one of SEMO's greatest players of all time, played from 2019 to 2023, and now in 2025, just 2 years after, she's now assistant coaching for SEMO, and SEMO gets a couple straight points on this one as they are looking to grow this lead. If you're on the SEMO side, you probably just, bat an eye at what Bealsmith did last year. Bealsmith was assisting the Lindenwood Lions in their championship winning season in the OVC. Last year, SEMO won the regular season, but they couldn't get the job done in the OVC playoffs. Bealsmith's team, the Lions, ended up doing that. Now she comes back to her alma mater, SEMO. Alumni night here. Shout out to any alumni at the game or watching this broadcast. We appreciate you for your time. We appreciate you watching. And go you as Reagan Nelson gets on the board for the first time. Megan Holder is going to be the one to come back and serve. Willis finds it, though. Wow, it looked like that might have been an ace, but the defense of Southern Indiana keeps that one alive. Schuberth finds St. John. Asa Thomas on the right side to Carly Wright. And that one's going to go out of bounds. SEMO takes the lead by 3. We see Leah Coleman back in the game for Southern Indiana. We saw her eat a banana on the sidelines earlier, possibly going through some cramps, but she is back in the game. Locked and loaded, touches that one, but it's going to be an ace for SEMO. Holder with a serve. Thomas to Coleman, but that one gets touched, so she gets to go again. Nelson with a dive. Coleman gets the point. 3 touches on that possession for Leah Coleman alone, and she got the job done. Kerrigan Fair back to serve for the Screaming Eagles. Holder to Lester, and how do you even stop that? Elena Lester with a fierce hit on that one, earning herself her 4th kill of this match. Thomas to right, but Schubert with the dive. See Bill Smith yelling on the sidelines at that one. Probably sees a lot of herself in Schubert. But Southern Indiana takes the point on that one. And that is going to be another timeout. SEMO goes up 5 and causes Southern Indiana to take another timeout. We've seen back-to-back kills by Elena Lester in points to bring SEMO up 5. This has really been a back-and-forth match. Southern Indiana takes the first set by 3. They win 25-22. SEMO up 5 here, but if you were here with us yesterday, you know these two teams go back and forth. Yesterday, when this game went to a 5th set, Southern Indiana came out and they started the 5th set 4-0. I mean, that was just demoralizing for SEMO, or so you'd think. SEMO comes back and scores 5 straight points. They tie the ball game 5-5 in the 5th set yesterday. But if you were reading or you were here, you know that Southern Indiana ended up coming back and winning the ball game yesterday. Really main thanks to Leah Coleman. Coleman had 6 kills in the 5th set. And not only did she have 6 kills, she went on a personal 3-0 run. When the score was 8-7, she knocked in the 8th, and then the 9th, and then the 10th points, making it 10-7 for Southern Indiana yesterday. That's why Coleman's been a player to watch today, and that's why she has been getting the ball so many times. But Willis, who led the team in kills yesterday, is going to have to do some more work if she wants this game today. Talked about it earlier. There it is again. Lucy Arndt in the back row is a force to be reckoned with. Arndt now serving, and it's going to be an ace for Lucy Arndt. Lucy Arndt doing it all yesterday. Yesterday had 20 kills, 13 digs, and an ace. Added her 9th double-double of the season. Today she's got 5 digs and 7 kills. Already on pace for yet another one. Holder's going to get Arndt in the back row, but Audrey Small was prepared for that one. Willis is blocked. Schubert. Nice pass to Johnson, who finds the hole. SEMO is now up 8 in this 2nd set. It's going to cause Southern Indiana to take their 2nd straight timeout. They took it when they went down 5. They take a 2nd one when they go down 8. We will be right back into this fantastic volleyball game. Make sure you stay tuned. Don't forget, I'm Kyler Messenger, and you're watching Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball on ESPN+.
When you're the leader in disaster cleanup and restoration, how do you make like it never even happened happen? Let it rain, Randy! Woo! Yes! By being prepared for anything! Woo! Whatever comes your way, there's a pro for that.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. We're big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. Strengthening our community since 1910. German American Bank.
Member FDIC.
And we're back, and Southern Indiana is back on the board. Audrey Small is the one back there to serve for the Screaming Eagles. Set by Holder. Bianca Anderson, but Holder dives to save that one. Johnson looking for the back row. Thomas finds Willis. Holder. St. John gets blocked, but it's not going to land. St. John on the board yet again, gets her second kill, and SEMO is up 8. Looking at Ashby Willis right there for Southern Indiana. Looking at Nina Schubert for SEMO. And here's the serve from Schubert. A little bit of a knuckle on that one, knuckle ball. Set from St. John, set by Holder. Johnson with the hit. Thomas looking for the hole in the defense. Gardner finds Small, though. Small finds that one, I should say. Holder. Gardner. Defense is diving. Can Small get this one over the net? Almost. What an effort. But Ramiri Gardner gets another kill. 3 kills on the day for Gardner. 8 for number 4, Marin Johnson, standing right next to her. Schubert, another good serve. Fair makes the dig, though. Holder. St. John finds the diving Thomas. Ashby Willis attacks. It's going to be a set by Holder for St. John, who gets her second point in the last 4. St. John really finding that groove that we know she is capable of, and SEMO's feeding her. They're only 4 points away from a second set victory. Schubert, an ace! Wow, Nina Schubert with her 4th ace of the day, and it's only the second set. She leads this team on aces, and you can see how. Serves a little bit of a knuckleball. Serves on the opposite side as the rest of her teammates. The rest of her teammates really serve on that right side of the court. She's the only one who goes over there on the left. Thomas sets to Willis. And Schubert, after a nice serve, gets a good touch on that one. Aren't in the back row. And Southern Indiana is going to find their way back on the stat sheet. It's been a quiet few possessions for the Screaming Eagles. They get back on that one, hopefully looking to make a little bit of a run. This team, much capable of a comeback. We know that to be true. You were here with us yesterday. Ramiri Gardner finds the hole. Wow, it looks like that one was right on the line on the outside. Glad that I am broadcasting and not line judging tonight, because that would have been a difficult call. SEMO's favor, though, and Ramiri Gardner gets her 4th kill of the game. Holland Gilliam's back there to serve. That slide for Anderson gets blocked. Marin Johnson taking that slide away from Bianca Anderson. You know she goes to it. If you are a fan watching for this Southern Indiana team, you know that Bianca Anderson is real strong when she slides. Just gets blocked on that one. Anderson coming with some ferocity on that one. Wow, she was mad that she just got blocked, and she gets the point. SEMO still match point, looking to take out this second set. And here comes Willis with the serve. Art gets a dig. Burns, awkward set in between 2 SEMO players, and they can't handle that ball. We give up the point to Southern Indiana, but they're still up 10. An ace for Ashby Willis. Schubert can't handle that one. Southern Indiana goes on a quick 3-0 run, and they are looking for another comeback versus Red Hawks team. Schubert to Burns to Johnson, who's blocked, but it's still alive. Johnson not blocked again, but Small handles that one. Holland Gilliams with the save. Ellie Burns with a jumping set, and that is going to be a win for SEMO. This game is now tied up thanks to some extra hitting from SEMO in the second set. Thanks to Maren Johnson, thanks to Ramiri Gardner, and thanks to Katie St. John. We will be right back here in the Hauk Fieldhouse. SEMO and Southern Indiana are tied at 1-1. I'm Kyler Messenger. And don't forget, you're watching Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball on ESPN+. Hello and welcome back into the Hauk Fieldhouse. We are here for a matchup between the Southern Indiana Screaming Eagles and the Southeast Missouri State Red Hawks. Most recently, in case you missed it, SEMO took the second set by a favor of 10 points. The first set ended in a Southern Indiana win by 3, and SEMO takes the second set by 10. We just want to remind you guys that tonight is alumni night. We talked about the head or the assistant coaches on SEMO, Tara Bealsmith and Jenny Shuk, who are both alumni of this program, both coaching now for the team. Just want to take a second to mention some of our players who we know are at the game today. Again, if you're listening and you're an alumni, thank you for choosing SEMO, and we appreciate you for tuning into this game. So at the game today, just from this last year's squad, Jenny Shuk, who we mentioned, also Kayla Close at the game, along with former teammate Abby Johnson. Johnson only played here for 1 year and now showing the love back to where she graduated. Also at the game today, Lainey Malloy, former OVC Player of the Year, Taylor Beasley, and also Samantha Seamers. So shout out to all the SEMO alum that are at the game today. And shout out to all the SEMO volleyball players on the court today who will eventually be SEMO alumni. We're going to go ahead and take a quick look at some of the best plays from the second set and this match so far while we are waiting for the third set to get underway. We saw multiple great defensive plays today, but we've also seen some great outside hitting. SEMO started off a little bit slow from the outside. Katie St. John, for example, started off 0 kills in the first set. She's now up to 3. Katie St. John, we just saw her make that play. Great comeback here in the second set as SEMO dominated. Like we said, they won the second set 25-15. These teams still pretty even around the attacking and digging rates. SEMO at 87 attacks on the night, Indiana at 82. And then on the digs, SEMO is at 43 on the night, and Indiana is at 40. We're looking at Leah Coleman of Southern Indiana. Right now, Coleman is sitting at 5 kills. She's got 17 attempts, which is third on the team. She's hitting 118. Coleman was seen eating a banana earlier in the game, which seems like something weird to report, but if you are familiar with the human anatomy and familiar with sporting, you know that you eat bananas to stop the cramp. You know that monkeys don't cramp because they eat bananas. So humans have to eat bananas as well to stop the cramps. We bring you back into the third set. Coleman's back in the game, not starting the third set, but she will be back in there. And SEMO coming off a dominating second set, looking to continue that as they get a block to start the second set. Still moving to see who gets the first point of the set. Arndt's kill is touched right, tips it with both hands, but Megan Holder's able to make a save. They have a nice setup play in the middle, and that is going to be a point for Mackenzie Murphy of Southern Indiana, getting her first kill of the day. Small serve is not going to give her another chance because SEMO gets on the board. This is Lucy Arndt back to serve for the Red Hawks. Has one ace on the day. Thomas to Willis. That was hard, but Schubert somehow returned that one. Thomas and Anderson both touching that one. Schubert with another great effort to get her arms on the ball. Brings it over for SEMO. And Southern Indiana's gonna go to Bianca Anderson. Ball up, ball down. Scored that point as fast as I can blink. Anderson with a piercing hit gives Southern Indiana the lead. Kira Moore with the serve. 4-year returning player for this squad. And that one's going to go out. Excuse me, it was touched. It was touched by Southern Indiana, which is the referee's call. Not what Coach Julie Yankus and the SEMO squad seems to think what happened, though. We're going to get a challenge on the court by Coach Yankus, as SEMO says that that ball was untouched. Southern Indiana and the referees originally said that it was touched by SEMO. Take a quick look at some of these replays, or not some of these, the replay that we are watching right now. That the referees are also watching. We're going to see the exact view that the referee got. You see SEMO immediately calling for a non-tip. I'm unsure what the call was at the moment. The call was overturned. We're looking at a tie ball game, 2-2. SEMO gets that point. They say that that ball did not touch the front line of the Red Hawks. So Schubert is back there to serve. Willis. Gardner. Thomas sets it for Willis, and Willis is going to get Southern Indiana at that three-point marker that they were just at. Ashby Willis, the junior, back to serve. Willis from Mount Carmel, Illinois. Carmel, Caramel, really depends on who you are, how you say that one. I'm not here to start any debates. Bianca Anderson with the slide. And Lucy Arndt finds the back of the court. From the back row, finds the back of the court. What a placement there from Arndt. Could you not be excited about that? Arndt has been killing it from the back row. Colin Gilliams with the serve. Asa Thomas sets it to Leah Coleman. Gilliams gets the first touch. Lucy Arndt in the back row again. Thomas tries to dump it, and it looks like it's not going to work. Can't fool that SEMO front line. And SEMO is on the board again. Gilliams with a deep serve. Anderson with yet another slide. They go to that slide a lot. She just misses on the outside on that one. SEMO is now up 2. There's Gilliams with the serve. Set by Burns. It's tipped at the line. It goes back to SEMO's side. They're going to find Arndt in the back row. Didn't get her at the right momentum, though. Anderson gets touched, so SEMO's going to get a chance to return. It's back on the Screaming Eagles side. Leah Coleman goes up, and that one just too high for Holland Gilliams. Can't play it, and Southern Indiana is back on the board. Anderson with the serve. Burns to Johnson. Great set there from Ellie Burns. Johnson just misses the outside barely. Really an extremely impressive game yesterday from Marin Johnson, who had 19 kills. Extremely impressive today. She's leading the team with 9. There she is. Now she's in the double digits. Marin Johnson now with 10 kills. The whole point I bring this up is Marin Johnson is currently infected with influenza. She's got the flu, and she's still here competing for this squad. And she's not only competing, she's doing it at the highest level. Michael Jordan flu game, you might have heard of it. Wait till you hear about that Marin Johnson flu game, though, of 2025. Southern Indiana does target her on that one, and it is a tie ball game as Johnson subs out. Barely gets over, but Schubert was ready for it, and Lucy Arndt right by Audrey Small. Arndt's got 9 now. Mary Gardner with the serve. I mentioned it earlier. 4 aces yesterday. Gilliams goes for the pancake, almost gets it. Doesn't complete it, though. And I did just say Mary Gardner had 4 aces yesterday. She had 5 yesterday. Mary Gardner, 5 aces, 8 kills, 6 digs, and 3 blocks. Mary Gardner literally did it all yesterday. Today she's already got 3 blocks. As SEMO gets a reverse ace, they're going to get a point on the service air. Watches that one go deep. We'll see who SEMO sends in to serve. It looks like it might be Megan Holder. It will be. It'll be Megan Holder back for the serve. First touch by Willis. And wow, Carly Wright with the left hand gets by Schubert with ease. Brings it back to a tie ball game. Served by Small. Lester fakes at St. John. The setter Thomas makes that first stop. And Carly Wright, the freshman, has 2 straight points. Wright had a stellar first set for the Southern Indiana team and really quieted down in that second set. Carly Wright is going to have to get into this game heavy for Southern Indiana. Lucy Arndt isn't the only one who can hit from the back row. Reagan Nelson, okay. Here comes Lucy Arndt serving. Wright somehow almost finds a perfect point where SEMO couldn't return it, but they could. St. John almost double touches it, doesn't. Looks like she blocked it and then tipped it. Willis finds Arndt, who gets her 8th dig of the day. Johnson looking for a kill. This return. Willis gets blocked at the line. SEMO doing a good job at just ricocheting this Southern Indiana offense. Set by Anderson. Steals Thomas's swag a little bit. Johnson. Thomas gets that set, though. She comes right back. And it's Carly Wright. But Megan Holder holds down that defense. Wow, we're still going. Another rally. And Bianca Anderson is going to end it. Out of bounds, Southern Indiana. And it's going to be a SEMO point. Great rally there, back and forth between these teams, and just a little bit too far for Anderson. Now we got Lucy Arndt back to serve. Thomas to Willis, who is blocked by Katie St. John. Doesn't find the arena, though, the inbounds part of the court. It's Southern Indiana point. SEMO's return is going to be successful. Elena Lester back on the board. Also, one of those players, like Carly Wright, kind of quieted down in the second set. Although SEMO didn't need it, they won the second set by 10. Elena Lester back on the board now has 5 kills on the day. Thomas to Anderson on that slide, and Schubert keeps it up. Arndt maybe a little bit far in that back row, but Fair keeps it in fair play. Schubert behind the head. Over to St. John. They're still going. Small to Willis, and that one is going to go out of bounds. SEMO did touch that one. It was touched by SEMO on the line. Willis gets the kill, and now Willis is back to serve. Delivery from Willis. Holder gets it to St. John, who can't get it over the net. Slight error from St. John on that one. And Ashby Willis gets another chance to serve. She's tied with Audrey Small. They both got 2 aces on the day. We'll see who's the first to get to that third, if anybody. St. John sets it up for Holder. He sets it up for Johnson, who gets blocked at the line. Just an interesting angle from Marin St. John. Marin Johnson had to come running in on that one, leaping forward, and the angle just wasn't a good trajectory. It got blocked by the Southern Indiana defense. Set by Holder. And Gardner pushes it from outside. Williams with the serve. Asa Thomas sets it up for Leah Coleman. But Lucy Arndt, they're going to bring it back to her. She was just on the ground from a dig, and they brought it back to her. And it's going to be a SEMO point. I was trying to think of the logistics on that one. Looks like Holder was at the 6. I think Arndt was at the 2. I think that was a 6-2 set from Holder to Arndt. After Arndt was on the ground from a dig, I mean, these two just can't be stopped. That duo is disgusting when they got going. Schubert to Gilliams. There's that defense we were talking about. Thomas to Anderson, and she gets back on the board. She has been waiting for that one. Hasn't had a successful kill in her last 2. Finally gets back on the board, and Anderson is now going to serve. Johnson tries to go for a tip. SEMO at the line, and Southern Indiana returns it. Anderson too tall. Burns can't get it over her. Leah Coleman out of bounds. We got a back and forth match going on here in the third set. We're tied at 1-1 apiece. This game went to 5 yesterday. I sure wouldn't be surprised if it went to 5 today. Marin Johnson back to serve. An ace. An ace. Marin Johnson, first ace of the day. First ace against Southern Indiana. And that is going to bring us to a break. SEMO takes the lead by 1, and we will be right back. I'm Kyler Messenger. You're watching Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball on ESPN+.
Kids are always snacking on the go, so keep them going all day with chewy, delicious Sunbelt bakery bars. From oats and honey to chocolate chip to soft baked strawberry, there's a flavor for everyone. The tastiest flavors under the sun. Sunbelt bakery bars.
When you're the leader in disaster cleanup and restoration, how do you make like it never even happened happen? Fire it up, Randy! By being prepared for anything! Whatever comes your way, there's a pro for that.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Hello and welcome back into Hauk Fieldhouse. SEMO's up 1. The score is 15-14, and Marin Johnson is back to serve. Gets it over to Leah Coleman, who gets blocked, but she keeps it up. Coleman's going to give it over to the Red Hawks side. A setup for Ramiri Gardner, who tries to tip it over, and we're still playing. Gilliams to Burns to Arndt, and Audrey Small saves that one. Ramiri Gardner with a little bit of a mishap on that one. It is a tie ball game once again. Asa Thomas back to serve for Southern Indiana. Set to Gardner with the tip, and it's not going to land. Southern Indiana now back in the lead. Apologize for some technical difficulties. Our game sounds were out. They're back now as Burns finds Arndt. What a hit there, and what a dig by Audrey Small. Set by Burns to Reagan Nelson, who tips that one from the back row. And Carly Wright perfectly in the right spot for Southern Indiana as they take a 2-point lead. SEMO strikes again. They are back now, only down 1. Lester, Arndt, and Burns handling that front line. Lester in the middle, Arndt on the outside. Burns setting. Ramiri Gardner with the service error, just a little bit too far, gives Southern Indiana another point. Leah Coleman subs out for Southern Indiana. Gardner out for SEMO. And Kerrigan Fair is up to serve. Arndt softly lays that one up. It's going to be right. And Reagan Nelson with the dig. Lucy Arndt pushes it to the opposite side. Thomas back set to Carly Wright. She didn't get it on the first one, and she gets the point on that one. Carly Wright is now the team leader in kills and is tied with both SEMO's Lucy Arndt and Marin Johnson with 10 on the day for a game high. That is going to cause SEMO to take a timeout. Southern Indiana up 3, SEMO down 3. We look into this lineup with Southern Indiana. Coach O'Coin, telling this team, you got to keep this momentum up. For Coach Yankus, she's telling them how to match up against this team. Down 3, but you just won by 10. And you beat this team twice yesterday. SEMO knows they can beat them. But Southern Indiana has done a really, really nice job at adjusting to SEMO's game. Coach O'Coin has done a great job of adjusting. He has done great defensive adjustments to stop SEMO's main hitters today. Not completely taking out, but has adjusted to Katie St. John's game, has taken her out of her usual groove. And Arndt and Johnson both have 10 kills today, both playing good. Johnson with 40 attempts. She had less than 40 yesterday. We're only 3 sets into the game. Yesterday, I'll tell you exactly how many attempts Johnson had yesterday. She had 34 attempts yesterday and had 19 kills. That's how she earned that .529 hitting percentage today. 10 kills on 40 attempts. SEMO is feeding her the rock. That's going to be an ace for Southern Indiana. That bench mob is hype as Kerrigan Fair is back to get another serve. Both of these teams desperately want this set. Going into the 4th set with a lead. Kerrigan Fair with a dive. Stops that ball from being a SEMO point. Burns to Lester. She started jumping before Burns said it. Williams to Burns. Arndt. It gets touched, and Fair makes the play. Thomas gets it a little bit too close to the SEMO side, though. Coach O'Coin trying to see what happened on that one. Might be going to the referees for a challenge. We will see how it plays out, but for the time being, SEMO gets the point. O'Coin talking to the referee on that one. Take a quick look at that play that they were just reviewing. And the call on the court is going to be confirmed. SEMO's point. They got 17. Southern Indiana's got 20. St. John with the kill. You could probably hear that ball from Academic Hall. What a hit from St. John. SEMO looking to make a little bit of a comeback here in this 3rd set. Now it's going to be the time if they want this win. Holder to Lester. It's handled by Small. And Small's going to give SEMO a chance to set up a nice play here. Holder finds Arndt, but it's tipped on the line. Great defense by Southern Indiana, and SEMO comes over the line. A mistake for the Redhawks that gives Southern Indiana the 21st point. Audrey Small back to serve. And here it is. Elena Lester not getting a full hit on that one. Misplaces it. And it's going to cause SEMO to take their other timeout of the 3rd set. Southern Indiana's at 22. SEMO's at 18. It is a 4-point ball game. And oh my, are we watching some good volleyball. Let me just run through some of the stats with you guys of this game so far. These teams are tied in blocks. They have been blocking all day. We've seen tons of rallies today. It just goes down to how good these defenses are. Just a real interesting stat. Coming into this game, Southern Indiana is 1st in the OVC in blocks per set, right? They're 1st in the entire league in blocks per set. You can see why. They have 3 players that are in the top 10 in the OVC. Out of all players, they have 3 on their roster in the top 10 blocks per set. On the SEMO side, they come into this game allowing opponents to block points the least. SEMO is first in the OVC in opponent blocking percentage. So, SEMO, a team that hits the ball well, knows how to avoid the block. Southern Indiana, a team that knows how to block. Both of these defenses playing fantastically. We've talked about Southern Indiana's defense, first in the league, the OVC in digs, third in the nation. I mean, it's better than teams in Missouri, like Missouri State and Mizzou. That's better than teams like Michigan. That's better than teams, big school teams. They are third in the nation in digs. But concerning error on that one, which is going to give SEMO the ball back. We're back in the third set. Southern Indiana is just 3 points to put it away. But SEMO's not going away. Here's Lucy Arndt with the serve. Drops that one in like a teardrop, but Southern Indiana makes the play. Johnson rolls on the line, or on the net for a couple seconds. I don't know how that one stayed up there. And Southern Indiana's going to get a chance to return. Right out of bounds. Looks like that one maybe went off the net at first and went out of bounds. Wasn't sure if SEMO tipped it, but they did not. And it is going to be a SEMO point. Southern Indiana will call for a timeout. Teams going back and forth in these timeouts. Yesterday, the biggest set win was SEMO, and they won by 7 points in the second set. Yesterday, when Southern Indiana won, they won in the third set by 3. It was 25-22. They won in the fourth set by 2. It was 26-24. It went to a little bit of extras, as you could say. And in the fifth set, they ended up winning 15-11. Neither of these teams are going to go away. And this game is really going to go down to the final aspects of it. Here in the Hauk Fieldhouse, I'm Kyler Messenger. We remind you that it is OVC Mental Health Awareness Week, as well as Alumni Night here at SEMO. In case you were wondering about other OVC matchups going down right now, UT Martin in Western Illinois currently playing right now. Also tied up 1-1 in the third set. UT Martin's up in the third, but the game's at a tie, looking just like this game right here. Thomas to right. Holder to St. John. Tries to tip it over the head of Small, but she jumps to get that one. And Ashby Willis flexing her muscles on that one, gets that ball down, and they take a 3-point lead in the third. Kira Moore, 4 aces yesterday, no errors. Nearly another ace on that one, but Art is going to be able to handle it. Bianca Anderson with the slide, and now she gets it. We've seen that slide action all day today. We saw it all night yesterday, and it's working now. Southern Indiana's at game match point for this third set. Schubert with a dive. Finds Johnson. Kira Moore almost handles that one, but a great strike from Marin Johnson gets SEMO back on the board. They're going to have to play a perfect rest of the set. But they can do it. As we mentioned earlier, neither of these teams give up. Neither of these teams like to go away. Nina Schubert almost gets the point, but Ashby Willis with a demoralizing kill. I mean, puts Schubert on the ground. Schubert, a great defensive player. That just shows how strong of a hit that Ashby Willis just hit. Willis is up to 11 kills. Carly Wright is also at 11. Marin Johnson of SEMO also at 11. Southern Indiana is up 2-1, and we will be back for the fourth set. My name is Kyler Messenger. And don't forget, you're watching Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball on ESPN+. Hello, and we are back in Cape Girardeau in Hauk Fieldhouse. We are about to enter into a fourth set. SEMO's down, Southern Indiana's up in a favor of 2-1. Real quick before this set starts, we're going to take a quick look at our standings around the OVC. So coming into the game yesterday, SEMO was in fourth and Southern Indiana was in sixth. They were just under this Eastern Illinois squad. Well, now with their conference win against SEMO yesterday, that brings their conference record to 3-2. Their total overall to 7-10. SEMO and Southern Indiana sitting at those 4 and 5 spots. Little Rock, the best team so far of the season in the OVC. They have OVC offensive and defensive player of the week this year. Andrea Roman on the defense and Bella Cherry on the offense. For example, just to show you this team's prowess, they beat SEMO earlier in the season. Southern Indiana has yet to face them. They will play them next, actually. They play Little Rock a week from today. That will be a great matchup between Southern Indiana and a first-place Little Rock team. We're back. Fourth set, 0-0. Kerrigan Fair is serving. Willis gets the ball over. As we talk about rallies all day, we have just seen so many of them, so many long back and forth between these two defensive-minded teams. SEMO is the first team to get on the board in the fourth. Shout out to our assistant athletic director, Kent Phillips, over there on the bench. Maybe got hit with the ball on that last play. Hope he's all right. And SEMO gives up that point. Tie ball game in the fourth. We're going to see lots of back and forth. We are ready. Schubert gets the first grab. And they're feeding Lester this set. Gets blocked on that one by Anderson. Reagan Nelson. But Audrey Small with an even better dig. They're going to Johnson on this one. It's Megan Holder setting for SEMO. Nelson somehow gets a left hand on that one. Marin Johnson sets it for Lucy Arndt in the back row. Here's Carly Wright. Holder's going to get the second touch. Arndt comes swinging from the back row, and even though it looks like Asa Thomas got a pancake on it, Lucy Arndt gets the point. What I need to do is grab a stopwatch and time the longest rally of the day. That ought to be a stat that we are looking for in the next SEMO home game. I will bring a stopwatch and keep you guys updated with that one. I'll give you guesstimations, but there's no point to do that. Let's just say that these rallies have been long today. Great defenses that we're seeing watch. Really some outstanding volleyball that we are here watching today. Schubert with the serve. There's 3-1 SEMO. It's set for Willis. Holder to Nelson, who is getting the starting outside hitting position in this fourth set. Shoots that one just a little bit far. Nelson, kind of that secret weapon SEMO's looking to use today. She's had a couple kills from the back row. SEMO obviously throwing that play into the game plan this week for a team that leads the OVC in blocks. You got to hit it from the back row. Makes it more difficult for them to block. Kira Moore with a rare misfire. Misses that dig, and SEMO's on the board again. Look, we talk about this Southern Indiana defense, how good they are. Well, Kira Moore, number 12, who we just saw, is fourth all-time in Southern Indiana digs. She's not even their starting libero. They have Audrey Small, a transfer from North Alabama. Oh, and they also got Kerrigan Fair, who plays libero for them sometimes as well. A great defensive team that Southern Indiana has this year. I mean, seriously, they have 3 playable liberos that will probably be starting liberos on lots of other teams in this league. Ramiri Gardner goes for that kill. We're still rallying, not unless Ashby Willis has something to say. She stops the rally, gets on the board. for the Screaming Eagles. Willis back to serve. Williams with the first touch, and it's going to be an ace for Ashby Willis. Holland Gilliams with an air. Tie ball game. Gilliams has plenty of game to work back from that. Game does not come down to one play. Willis goes for Gilliams again, who handles that one. Finds Schubert, who finds Arndt, who finds the back of the court, not in bounds as Southern Indiana goes up. Schubert gets the first touch on this one. Set by Burns to Gardner, and she misses on this one. SEMO getting good attacks. They're not being blocked. You see the bench call OUT on that one. SEMO's not getting blocked on these last couple attacks. They are just hitting it a little bit out of bounds. Working a little bit too hard to avoid these attacks or these blocks. It just shows how promising this defense is of Southern Indiana. Gilliams shows off the bunnies. Nelson shows off the bunnies and gets the kill for that one. Her 4th kill of the game. Reagan Nelson, here is her serve. Set by Thomas. Burns sets it. Lucy Arndt. Difficult play to handle for Southern Illinois, and we are still rallying. Ellie Burns, Lucy Arndt, and it looks like it's going to be a Southern Indiana point. Anderson with the serve. Gilliams and Schubert walk that one out of bounds, and it is going to be SEMO's point. SEMO's got 6, Southern Indiana's got 7. No pun intended. Miri Gardner is going to be serving. Set by Thomas. Coleman on the outside. Burns to the back row for Nelson, and there she is again from the back row. Reagan Nelson making her impact felt. What a point there for SEMO. They now find the lead due to a mistake from Coleman. SEMO is up 1. Burns, Lester, and Lester pummeled. Looks like that was Mackenzie Murphy who's going to get the block on that one. It was Murphy and Coleman. Murphy, who SEMO has done a good job at minimizing so far. Murphy is first in the OVC in blocks per set. And they give that one to Southern Indiana. That ball was called in, an ace for Southern Indiana. Here comes Asa Thomas with the serve. Got a rally going. Burns with a nice, almost a no-look tip, a misdirection, body moving left. She moves that right arm and gets that ball to the right corner of the court. There's a tie game in Cape Girardeau in the 4th set. Megan Holder's going to bring the ball over for SEMO. They get it right back. Arndt has to change the arm slot. Thomas behind her. Wright tries to push it over, but she can't do it. SEMO takes the lead. And now SEMO's bench taking a page out of the Southern Indiana book. Now, obviously, SEMO had their own celebrations ready, but a team has to be hype when the other team is like Southern Indiana. I mean, this team has been exhilarating as Coleman dives off of a beautiful dig from Audrey Small, and we're still playing. Elena Lester, but Audrey Small stops it again. Coleman is blocked at the net by Marin Johnson. What a back and forth on that one. Audrey Small with a great set of digs, but Marin Johnson finishes the play. Set by Thomas to right. Fierce hit with the left on that one. That one's going to be hard to stop 10 times out of 10. Wow, Carly Wright, nice hit on that one. This is Kerrigan Fair back to serve for the Screaming Eagles. Johnson is returned by Asa Thomas. Johnson blocked, but it's going to be Johnson who gets the kill. Here comes Lucy Arndt with a serve. A set out to right. Excuse me, that was Willis. A little celebration going on from Southern Indiana. Reagan Nelson with the left. And we're still alive. Here comes Nelson again. Great dig by Fair. Anderson just a little bit short. It's going to be SEMO point as they go up 2. An ace by Nina Schubert, just over the net. And what a serving game Schubert has had. She's now up to 5 aces on the day. And now she's back to serve again. Almost another one, but Small with the dig. Willis right back at Schubert. Holder to the back row, Lucy Arndt. And even though Small locates the ball, that one's going to be hard to keep in the play of territory. SEMO goes up 4, and we are going to go to a timeout here in the 4th set. SEMO is up 4. We've seen just most recently in the last 2 plays, we've seen a kill by Lucy Arndt, and just before that we saw a ace by Nina Schubert. We will be right back here in the Hauk Fieldhouse. I'm Kyler Messenger, and don't go anywhere. SEMO's up 4. You're watching Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball on ESPN+. Back mid-play here in Cape Girardeau as we see Lucy Arndt dive, but doesn't get the point. Southern Indiana takes the point. It's 12-15 their way. There's Kira Moore just over the net. Sets it out to Maren Johnson. And now a return from Willis. Set by Holder. Johnson hits. Blocked. Holder gets another chance. Sets for Nelson. And that one is SEMO's point. It was out by the line judge, but it seems like that one was touched. SEMO looking at the bench. Potentially a challenge from Coach O'Coin on this one. But we're not going to see it. Reagan Nelson adds another kill to the board. And she's now at 6. Just for comparison, Reagan Nelson had 1 kill yesterday. She's now at 6. It was Harper Highfill serving, the freshman. And that one lands. Looks like it's going to be SEMO's point. Looks like we had Burns and Willis kind of pointing at each other, trying to give the blame to somebody, but the referee saw it clear as day. SEMO point. Highfill back to serve. Eureka High School graduate. Dumped by Thomas, but Schubert saw it coming. Beal Smith yelling at her on that one. Knows that she could have saved that one too on alumni night. And Southern Indiana gets another point. You know that bench is hype. We're over here taking a look at Connell Moonen, this team's student assistant. Connell has been leading the team's hype bench. You've seen him. You saw the celebrations yesterday. You've seen what they've been doing today. Moonen, the older brother of the twin sisters, Jillian and Maeve Moonen. So there's twin sisters. You see number 20, Jillian, and Maeve, number 19, both twin sisters. Well, their older brother, Connell, team student assistant. Shout out to the Moonens. As Southern Indiana is only down 3 here in the 4th set, but it's going to be a SEMO point. See a sneak peek at where they are going to hit this ball. Reagan Nelson aims in the back row. Anderson is going to be rewarded with the point. Nelson and Highfill back there. I mean, look, if you haven't been around these girls, they're freshmen before, you probably don't know this. Highfill and Reagan Nelson, former teammates, played some club ball together in high school. Now playing together on the SEMO court at the same time. Pretty cool to see Highfill and Nelson on the court at the same time, and that's going to be a Reagan Nelson kill. Dig by Moore. Sets over to Coleman. It's Leah Coleman, and Coleman makes a mistake on that one. Coleman, who has 8 kills on the day, is swinging under 100. That one brings her down to an .061 attacking percentage today so far. SEMO has absolutely done a good job at neutralizing her in this game. Compared to yesterday, and SEMO is on a run right now, yet another point. Causes Southern Indiana to take a timeout. See Beal Smith behind Yankees coach Mark Moore to the left of them, talking to their squad. You're down 2-1. This team has resilience and they have fight. And let me tell you something. They are coached well. Coach Yankees has been here for 15 years. This is her 15th season coaching SEMO Redhawks, a former player. Over on the Southern Indiana side, you got Coach Jeffrey O'Coin, his 3rd year with Southern Indiana, not the 15th one. He was a coach at Harvard before Southern Indiana. An assistant coach at Harvard, former player himself. played at New Hampshire, now coaching Southern Indiana. Arndt and Yankees looking to get back out there for this fourth set. SEMO is up 6. .30 run for SEMO right now. That one just off of the line. Southern Indiana ends that run thanks to a kill by Leah Coleman. It got blocked, but it did not land back in bounds. And I think I can smell something through the TV screen. A little stanky leg there by Leah Coleman. Set by Burns to Lucy Arndt. Small with a dig. And that one's going to land in. Carly Wright puts it in the right spot, right on the back line. Impressive for a freshman to have that kind of aim. Set by Burns over to Reagan Nelson. And USI is going to get a chance to return this one. Coleman gets blocked. Looks like Ellie Burns might have been in the net. Referee is going to call a violation against Ellie Burns. Rewards Southern Indiana with the point. And now SEMO is going to take their first timeout of the fourth set. These two teams taking back-to-back timeouts. And oh man, do we have a game before us. Both of these teams not giving up, fighting hard. We look at the huddle of this Southern Indiana team. We mentioned assistant coach Sarah O'Coin is not with us today. Watching from home, Coach O'Coin, the assistant, the wife to head coach Jeffrey O'Coin. You got a husband and wife coaching the team. Pretty cool if you ask me. Team chemistry from the bench shows from the head coach's team chemistry. Now we look at that SEMO bench. Beal Smith in the back on alumni night. Just 2 years ago was one of those players that Yankees was coaching. Yankees been here for 15 years, has seen tons of players come in and out, and sees one of her former players coming back to coach with her. That just kind of has got to show you Coach Yankees' impact on these women. Beal Smith, as we mentioned earlier, coached with Lindenwood last year and won the OVC championship. That can't be an easy role to pass up. Had to have loved Coach Yankees so much to come back for the SEMO team and assist them. Well, SEMO gets on the board as we are talking about their coach. Finds the back row. First point out of the timeout goes to SEMO. Megan Holder with the serve. Right. Looked like Schuberth and Holder both took a step back. Were ready for her to kill that ball. And she just barely tipped it over. Carly Wright's now up to 13 kills. And Kerrigan Fair is back to serve. 10 digs on the day. 1 ace. Nearly 2. But Marin Johnson saves it. Thomas sets it out to Wright, who gets blocked by Marin Johnson. Lucy Arndt is touched at the net. So they got an easy dig. SEMO's coming right back. These defenses showing what they are about as we have yet another rally. Willis is going to end up getting the final laugh on that point, though. Schubert can't handle her kill. And Southern Indiana crawling back. Marin Johnson with a kill, and SEMO is 2 away from 25. Lucy Arndt with a serve. Set by Asa Thomas. And Ashby Willis got a almost got a kill on that one, but the defense of SEMO is keeping it going. The score is 23-20, SEMO's favor. And a great kill there from Arndt is going to cause a free ball here. They get it out to Nelson, who is going to get the point. SEMO 24, Southern Indiana 20. We take a quick look at that last Reagan Nelson kill over the head of Small. It's Nelson's 7th kill of the day. It's her 8th kill. She already had 7. It's her 8th kill of the day. Murphy goes for that kill. There's Nelson. She's got 9, and that's a SEMO 4th set win. The unfortunate environment of the Houck Fieldhouse proves to be difficult for Southern Indiana as Reagan Nelson's kill goes off the hands of Southern Indiana and hits the ceiling. Messes up the ricochet on that one. And ladies and gentlemen, we will return for a 5th set, the second straight 5th set between these two teams. I'm Kyler Messenger. You better not go anywhere. The best volleyball is yet to come. You are watching Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball on ESPN+. Hello and welcome to the Houck Fieldhouse. Wow, wow, wow. The only word that I have for this match so far. Southern Indiana and Southeast Missouri State. Yesterday, Southern Indiana won in the 5th set, 3-2, after SEMO took the very first 2 sets and dropped the next 3 to Southern Indiana. Today, it's been a little bit of a different story. It's been back and forth. Southern Indiana takes the first set. SEMO takes the second set. SEMO loses the 3rd set. Southern Indiana takes the 3rd set. And then SEMO comes back and takes the 4th set. So we've gone Southern Indiana, SEMO. Southern Indiana, SEMO. And here we are in Cape Girardeau. We welcome you. My name is Kyler Messenger. Been with you all night. Was here with you yesterday. And I'll be with you all season. We are here in the Houck Fieldhouse. Tie game 0-0. Coach Julie Yankus talking to SEMO. Coach Jeff O'Coin talking to USI. Wow. This game yesterday ended in a USI win. They came out in the 5th set on a 4-0 run. Then SEMO went on a 4-run themselves and tied the ball game up at 5-5. After that, though, it was the Leah Coleman show. Leah Coleman goes on a solo 3-0 run to give USI the lead and then finishes the game. Ashby Willis with the game-winning kill. Well, as we're talking about her, Leah Coleman, team hype woman on the bench, on the ground right there. Willis gets the last point of the game yesterday. And it looks like, unfortunately, Coleman has been cramping today, has been going through some sort of injury designation, but she's been in and out of the game. She's still been playing. Yesterday in the 5th set, had 6 kills, but she's on the bench to start this one. Kerrigan Fair to get the serve, and here we go. Reagan Nelson starts this one off with a point. I mean, what a game it has been for Reagan Nelson. Yesterday, 1 kill. Now she's up to 9, and SEMO starts the 5th set off with a point. Here is Nina Schubert with the serve. Near the back of the line. Carly Wright gets blocked by Reagan Nelson. Oh my goodness. Reagan Nelson, what a show out. Ten kills, 10 digs, and 1 block for Nelson. That's right. Nelson's got a double-double already. Freshman year, and she's knocking the double-doubles in like it's nothing. Schubert with a service error. Not the time you want to have it, but SEMO can come back from that. Southern Indiana finally getting a chance to serve, to return serve back in the 5th set. As Ashby Willis is going to score the point. Tie game. Two to two here in the 5th. Audrey Small in the second service error of the set that we've seen. The pressure getting to them. I mean, absolute pressure in this game. You thought that going to 5 yesterday on 10-9, October 10th, was pressure. How about today? Back-to-back 5th set matches. And it's 10-10. It's a cool October 10th date you got today, but it doesn't matter. It's 5th set here. SEMO's on a doubleheader with Southern Indiana. They lost yesterday. They're looking to get it back. But Harper Highfield with the 3rd service error of the set. It is a tie game at 3-3. Kira Moore coming in for the serve for Indiana. Burns with the pass to Nelson. SEMO has 3 freshmen playing in the 5th set right now. Schubert somehow finds Nelson to get that ball over. Nelson tries to go for a block, but they can't handle it. It is going to be Southern Indiana lead. Asa Thomas, Ashby Willis, Bianca Anderson up in the front row for Southern Indiana, going for a back-to-back win. And SEMO gets back on the board. Reagan Nelson is going to be the one to serve. Double-double already. See what she can do from the serving line. Here's a serve from Nelson. Handled by Moore. Set by Thomas. It's not a set, it's a dump. And we got some mumbo-jumbo at the volleyball net, and it is going to continue play. Gardner with the left keeps it alive. Here comes Willis attacking, finds the weak spot. Reagan Nelson with the effort with the left, but she can't complete the play. And Southern Indiana goes up 1. We have seen back and forth so far in this 5th set. We're only going to 15, ladies and gentlemen. Do not forget. That causes the first time out of the 5th set. 5-4 matchup. Yankees, Maureen Johnson, Tara Beal-Smith, and Mark Moore. Also Jenny Shuk talking to the squad. Jeff O'Coin over on the Southern Indiana squad, keeping it composed. And we're back. Served by Willis. Arndt gets the first point after the break. Puts that one in a spot that Southern Indiana had no chance of returning. It's a tie game. Here comes Ramiri Gardner with the serve. Set by Thomas. Leah Coleman on the outside. She's back in the game. And a back set to Reagan Nelson. Who saw that coming? What a freshman connection between Ellie Burns and Reagan Nelson. You see Nelson give the thumbs up to Burns. Great set. And Reagan Nelson deserves a thumbs up back. Great kill for that one as SEMO goes up 1. Set to Leah Coleman. And that one is going to be out. SEMO's up 2. Leah Coleman was the deciding factor of this game yesterday. And could she be again today? We are yet to find out. She has got 10 kills and is looking to build. Ramiri Gardner is serving. It's set by Asa Thomas, and it's not a great set, but Southern Indiana, with their defense, keeps it alive. Ellie Burns just a bit too outside. Back-to-back mistakes by these team setters. And in the fifth set, Southern Indiana 6, SEMO 7. Both of these teams climbing to the 15 marker. Burns, another back row set to Nelson, who fakes the defense out. Reagan Nelson, have a day. 13 kills for number 12. And we see SEMO is the first team to hit the 8-point marker. These teams will flip sides. In yesterday's game, 8-6 was not a score in the fifth set that we saw. We did see a 7-7 score. These two teams were tied at 7 yesterday. And then Southern Indiana went on that 3-0 Leah Coleman run that we've been talking about. 8-7, 9-7, 10-7. And then they took the rest of the game from there. SEMO is looking to etch their name in the W column today. Just some of our headlining stats of this game so far. Reagan Nelson, 13 kills, 26 attacks. Only 26 attacks. She's hitting .462. Reagan Nelson, 13 kills, 11 digs, and she's swinging at .462. The freshman is having the game of her career. Southern Indiana also has a double-doubler in Ashby Willis. 2 straight games for Willis. Willis is dominating the Cape Girardeau volleyball scene. She comes in yesterday. And yesterday she had 21 kills and 16 digs. Ashby had 21 and 16. Today she's got 19 and 12. And we are back from break. Leah Coleman's tipped at the line. Nelson saves it in the back. And Lucy Arndt doesn't find a hole. Lucy Arndt thinks that one went down. Referee says otherwise. Asa Thomas with a serve. 1-point game. Lucy Arndt mad about that call. You know she wanted the last one, and you know she was going to come and get that point right back. SEMO 9, Southern Indiana 7, and they have awoken a beast in Lucy Arndt. Floating serve from Arndt. Thomas sets to Coleman, and Coleman finds the spot, hitting her dance immediately as they sub her out for Kerrigan Fair, who is going to be the one to serve. Leah Coleman, the deciding factor of this game yesterday, gets Southern Indiana back into this game. And Kerrigan Fair is back to serve. It's set by Holder. Nelson with a little bit of a fake, but Southern Indiana sniffs it out. Johnson is back on the outside. Thomas sets to Willis, who pushes it 2-4. That one is not going to work. And the first team to reach double digits tonight in the fifth set is SEMO. Nina Schuberth is the server for SEMO. Audrey Small with the first touch. Carly Wright with the attack, but SEMO gets the point. That's going to be a block for Ramiri Gardner and Reagan Nelson. Carly Wright, who has been playing fantastically today, the freshman for the Screaming Eagles, has 13 kills. Blocked on that one, though. Thomas to Willis. and it's ricocheted off of the SEMO line, the back line, and Schubert and Arndt can't find it. Southern Indiana cuts the lead to 2. Audrey Small with a serve. The set by Holder. Reagan Nelson bumps it on the outside to Marin Johnson, and we get a couple of blocks back-to-back from Indiana, but SEMO's defense keeping it alive. Anderson to Holder. Schubert to Nelson. And Nelson tries to avoid the block. She does not successfully earn a kill. Southern Indiana is only down 1. Small with the serve. A little bit too high on the body for Schubert. They're going to get a free ball, and Southern Indiana's going to have time to set up Willis, but Lucy Arndt almost grabs the dig, but that ball was coming in hard. Again, I don't have a mile-per-hour gun. If I did, I would tell you how high or how fast Ashby Willis hit that ball. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a tie game. 2 sets to 2, 11 points to 11 points, and we will be right back here on ESPN+. Hello and welcome back into the Houck Fieldhouse. In case you forgot in the 2 minutes that we have been gone, we are at a tie ball game in the 5th set, and we're underway. Schubert gets it up to Holder. Looks like it was a double hit. The SEMO bench, the SEMO coaches were calling for it, and the referees listen. SEMO is up by 1 in the 5th set. They come out of the timeout, and they earn the first points. Ashby Willis of Southern Indiana is in the lead of the day. She has 21 kills. Lucy Arndt is leading the way for the Red Hawks with 15. Harper Highfill, the freshman who made a service error to start this set, gets an ace right when it matters. Whoa, what a serve there from the freshman. Harper Highfill coming into this game in the 5th set. She came into this game in the 4th set, making her first appearance in the 4th and making her first ace when it matters. Harper Highfill, what a hit on that one. And we are currently checking to see that was Highfill's 5th ace of the season. Harper Highfill's 5th ace of the season. Real quick, just a reminder, you're here watching OVC ESPN Women's Volleyball. It's OVC National Mental Health Awareness Week. And also here at SEMO, it is Alumni Night. Back to the task at hand, this volleyball game. SEMO is 2 points away if they play cleanly and Southern Indiana doesn't score from taking a win back and splitting the series with Southern Indiana. Southern Indiana, on the other hand, 4 points away if they were to score 4 straight, and SEMO scored none. Southern Indiana would sweep SEMO, turning out in 2 straight OVC sweeps. Southern Indiana in their last series swept Eastern Illinois. Highfill with a serve. It's returned by Willis. Set by Burns. Reagan Nelson with a kill. It is game point. And SEMO, who has 3 freshman on the court right now is up by 3. 1 point to go for game. See Kara Oxen connect on the bench over there. Hasn't suited up today. Gives space for Reagan Nelson, who's second on the team with that last one, has 14 kills. And Harper Highfield lets that one go a little bit too high. Her second service error of the set. Nonetheless, Highfield just got that last point, and before that last point, she had a service ace. Still game point for SEMO. Southern Indiana on the other side has a couple to make a comeback with. Reagan Nelson in the back of the court. That is going to be a SEMO win. Reagan Nelson ties Lucy Arndt with 15 kills on the day. The freshman, Reagan Nelson, with the game of her career. SEMO wins 15-12. Reagan Nelson, 15 kills. 406 hitting percentage, also with 12 digs. Lucy Arndt and Reagan Nelson leading this squad to a series split. Both of those teams, or both of those players, getting a double-double today. For Reagan Nelson, this was a career high in kills. She scored 15, her career high as a freshman. She hasn't had a 15-kill game yet, and it's only up for here for the young career of Nelson. SEMO lost to Southern Indiana today, and they don't let them make another comeback on them. SEMO with a win. We're going to go ahead and take a look at just some of our best plays from today's game. What a volleyball game that we just witnessed. I can't get over it. I'm still excited. 2 straight 5-set matches. These are 2 of some of the most superior teams in the OVC. I think once we get to the end of the year, SEMO, Southern Indiana, and even Little Rock, who didn't play today, obviously, those are going to be 3 of the top 5 OVC teams. Just a prediction, Highfield in that 5th set gets an ace. I mean, we got to give a little bit of a shout-out to the SEMO freshman. Reagan Nelson, 15 kills. Harper Highfield, ace in the last set. And Ellie Burns with 21 assists. An absolute stellar game for the SEMO Redhawks. What a game, and SEMO wins. So, I'm Kyler Messenger saying so long from the Hauk Fieldhouse in Cape Girardeau, where the final match is SEMO 3, Southern Indiana 2. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. I'm Kyler Messenger. This has been a presentation of ESPN+.